when I think back to it now, it's slightly dreamlike. I'm in a bit of a daze right now, if I'm to be honest, even just chatting to you, because I haven't had time to almost process it all, because I've come back quite quickly. But it's the most beautiful, terrifying place I've ever been. I've chatted to you guys before, and I have a fear of heights, and the top of Everest is unbelievably exposed.
What I really want to know is, talking to you, is how you've managed to get such a suntan on your legs, given you've just been on a mountain in freezing temperatures.
Piers, I didn't think you were going to put me on a stool now. I thought I was going to sit behind a desk. And
I mean, you explorers are all a bit weird. This is quite a lot of rocking today.
I've actually, my legs are actually, that's where I've lost most of my weight. It's amazing
10 kilos.
About 10 kilos.
Oh,
it's amazing what altitude kind of does. It eats away at the muscle.
Victoria Pendleton had to sadly pull out after 3 weeks and was clearly in a pretty serious way.
Very
that
dangerous
happened.
situation.
Just tell us quickly about what happened there.
Vic started feeling the effects of altitude sickness and her statistics. So at sea level, we have almost 100% oxygen saturation in our blood, but hers was dipping down to in the 50s, half of that. She'd be in A&E if it was here, and it got progressively worse until we got to Camp 2.
I mean, you really worried about her?
Yeah, myself and Kenton Cool, who I was climbing with, we were really worried because we knew how bad those stats are. When you're in the moment,
people can die, can't they, in that situation?
People can and do, and very sadly already this year a number of people have passed away due to exhaustion, due to altitude sickness. And sometimes when you're in that moment, it's difficult for you to understand the severity of it. Luckily, we were able to point that out, and she saw doctors.
Well, she lived, and she's joining us now by phone,
Oh.
actually. So good morning to you, Victoria.
Good morning.
Morning,
Congratulations, Ben. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Vic. You were missed dearly on the mountain. I can't tell you how beautiful it was up there. It was incredible.
I've really enjoyed following you on social media and looking at the pictures. I can't wait to see the video. And I just want to say what a massive inspiration you are. Oh. And also, I want to apologise to Marina for not being there to keep an eye on you, because I think she was hoping that I would make sure you were safe, but it turned out to be me, the one that needed help. But I really, you're such an inspiration, Ben, and I'm so very, very happy that you managed to fulfil that dream. I just wish I could have been there to see it happen.
That means, to say that for an Olympian to say that means a lot.
Well, Victoria, I was going to ask you, I mean, I sat opposite you once at a dinner, and you were talking about your training regime as a cyclist, and it made my eyes water, just the sheer determination that it needs to be an Olympian. But even for someone like you, the mountain became too much. Yeah. What was it like for you when you realised, I just can't go on here?
I mean, I was incredibly disappointed, as you would imagine. But also the fact that you can't mess around with things when it comes to life and death. You know, the environment, people think it's just climbing a mountain. When you're at those kind of altitudes, nothing feels normal. Your body doesn't feel like yourself. You don't feel like yourself. It's so difficult to even just sit and exist there. That when something like that happens, you have to be sensible about it and go, well, this isn't for me, and accept it, I guess, and move on.
Well, you did an amazing... Look, to do 3 weeks, I couldn't do 3 minutes out there. It's still a remarkable achievement. And, Ben, for you, I mean, there have been so many great achievements. Just finally, I mean, was the pinnacle of your career so far, would you say, as an explorer?
I think, not as an explorer, but as a father. I've got 2 young kids, and they've to include them in the whole journey.
When you got
the
to the
excitement.
top, you had their soft toys.
I've got their soft toys, which are now back in their beds at home. They're quite a ride for those 2 little soft toys. But I think it probably was the pinnacle. It's the one that I'm the proudest of. It pushed me in every sense. It pushed me physically.
Saw you with your lovely wife yesterday at the Chelsea Flower Show. Does she ever say to you, darling, look, can you just give it a rest for at least a couple of years? Stop trying to kill yourself. I
think after this one, I think I've put Marina through enough with this one, because it's let's not dress it up too much. It's a dangerous mountain, and I've kind of spent quite a few days in the death zone, this fine line between life and death, and I probably need a few weeks to digest it all. But my wife, is the true hero, because she held the fort at home. But hopefully, the whole expedition's done a lot to raise awareness for the British Red Cross that we were supporting, and the Anything Is Possible Foundation. So I'm hoping, and the main thing I want from this is that people who will follow the show that we made and the story will be inspired, because that's what it is.
You still haven't quite fully explained how you got such a good tan in your legs when you've been on a mountain for 6 weeks.
I'll give you my secrets later. Yes. I know you want tan legs.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.